Sagittarius. This is your August 24 soul story. If you have a sun, rising or moon in the sign, I hope this reading and its messages are going to give you some support as you make your way through the next few weeks. It's Romy. Thanks so much for joining me on the channel. We're going to open up with the universe. Sagittarius, you know, words are like spells, and this month you want to ensure that you are using yours for the highest good for yourself and those around you. You know, this ninth house activation during Leo season wants to give you a higher perspective. Is that always easy? No, but this is your growth, and I think the more you can pay attention to what you are seeing, both internally, probably more important internally, but also in external situations during this month, it's going to shine a light for you on perhaps where some of the limits or some of the blocks or some of the areas that need your attention are being shown to you, right? So August is one of these opportunities that in some ways, through the frustration, through some of the inevitable delays that you might come up against and the more tricky astrological conversations that just feel at times like we're taking one step forward and two steps back, it's kind of affording you a bit of leverage, something to push against, something to actually focus your mind and get really clear on what it is that you are trying to progress towards, to achieve, you know, what the desire is, how you've changed. And I think in this Leo season, these big soulful goals that we get to revisit, especially as we also enjoy the portal of energy with Lionsgate 8/8 energy, then you just have this moment in time where it's very clear to you perhaps where things have been holding you back, or where you are being relentlessly moved in a different direction from the universe because perhaps the direction you're trying to move in hasn't yielded any results or hasn't been particularly easy for you at this moment in time. So it's an interesting month ahead, you know. I think, are we going to like everything that it has to deliver or say to us? I don't think so. But at the same time, I think we're going to be quite grateful as we get to the end of August and we see the way in which we have been shown and things have been highlighted to us, and actually we've been able to get real meaningful clarity for ourselves about things that are important and that we are wanting to prioritize. Now, in amongst all of that, I want to say to you, you know what, you are absolutely doing your best and it is enough, and you do need to remember that. But I think there's huge amounts of learning and growth that each and every one of us can take from this month. Now, on the 4th, we will see Mercury stationing retrograde in Virgo alongside that new moon, and we'll also see Venus shifting into the sign of Virgo as well. The universe says you're reaching a point of culmination in regards to something, and actually there should be something to celebrate in that. And so as you consider where you want to now place your focus with that new moon, you might have a sense of not knowing fully what you're doing or what it means. There might be some sort of unknown component to it, is kind of what I'm picking up here. But I think what you're really being asked is just to do something, to commit fully to something. So whatever that theme is for you, whether it's rest, whether it's learning something new, whether it's revisiting something, which is highly likely with all of these planets shifting retrograde through this season, the more that you can be there fully with that, the more possibility and promise is going to be delivered and, I suppose, explored through this month. Now, the Magician says that we need to use what we have and what we know, and through our dedication and our devotion to that, we can create something new, something different. We can amplify, we can expand, and we can really take up more space in the areas that we want to start seeing results in. I love the Magician energy for you because I think it gives you the impetus and a motivating factor to say, you know what? I need to actually speak about this. I need to share this. I need to talk about this. This has value. And, you know, along with the gifts and the culmination of sort of everything that you've learned and gained to get to this point, the Magician can be an absolute ally for you. But if you're not talking about it, if you're not sharing it, or as we said, if you're using words that, you know, perhaps are putting a different spin on it, you know, you're talking too negatively, you're getting too critical of yourself or others or situations, then, you know, you're not going to see the same type of progression or the same things that want to open up for you. You're a divine channel, right? You're a divine channel, and something wants to come through you this month, and that's because somebody needs to hear it, to see it, to read it, or to come into an awareness of it. So not only is it going to help you, it's also here for the collective. So if there's something that's burning or that's feeling like it's on your mind or on your chest and you need to say it, and it's coming from a place of like, you know, this needs to be understood by people need to know this, then that's something that August is really going to hold a container for. Yeah. I think you're also around that new moon energy between the 4th and the 8th, revisiting the way in which you've been manifesting, right? You've probably had mixed results. Some things have come through beautifully in a way that you could never have imagined. Other things have taken their own divine order and timing. But this is a beautiful experience to now say, how have I changed and evolved in the ways that I use these sacred practices? What more can I learn? You know, is there something in the law of attraction, the law of assumption, quantum jumping, NLP, meditation, whatever the thing is that helps you? You know, the spiritual practices, your human design, your Akashic records, your gene keys, like there's so many things that can at this moment with your increased awareness and understanding be used in a new way, in an advanced way to enable greater things to come through for you. And this is the time to do it. This is the energy to work with it, right? So you want to make sure you're coming back around to your vision board in that first week of August. Really super important. I think we have this feeling around the first part of August. Knight of Swords. You see, I'm picking up that there's something that you might not agree with or particularly like. What I'm going to say to you though is that you can respect yourself in the opinion that you hold, and you can respect where things stand at the moment. And I think that's really important, because if you get too fixated, now this Knight of Swords might be as a result of a person, of a message or a situation or event that sort of gets activated in that first part of the month. Remember, with retrograde energy, it could be something coming back around from the past. As we see the sort of holographic image of like 3 figures, I feel like what's also being shown as a result of this energy is something that's unclear or slightly polarizing, or feeling like, you know, someone's being something and then something else, or a message isn't necessarily you know, being expressed in a way that particularly makes sense. It's confusing, you know, and it wouldn't be a surprise. We get lost in translation energy when we're in Mercury retrograde especially. However, if you can give yourself permission to say, okay, I'm not happy about this, I don't agree with it, I don't like it, I don't want it, you know, whatever the thing is that gets activated within you, just at the same time, don't let that be something, along with some of the other more nitpicky energy and the delays or blocks that sort of may feel like they surface through August, be getting in your way of being able to open up to what's meant for you, what's right for you. And honestly, this is why I'm back to saying like words have spells. So really pay attention to how you're interpreting everything through the month of August. You've got your own filters, you've got your own backstory, you've got your own patterns. And so the way you receive this information based on the way someone else receives this information is going to be completely different. That's okay, that's as it's meant, but you have your own growth and learning in this moment. So if you can take time to respect where you're at, what's unfolding, and yourself, then it's going to give you a more grounded perspective. So you then take action, you respond, or you're able to remain more non-reactive, or perhaps find it easier to regulate your own emotions in a much more empowered way. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to that, especially as we come into the mid-month, because things start to get a little bit more charged around that time. Now, we do have Juno, asteroid goddess, shifting into Libra, the sign she rules, on the 9th. I really like that. I think that we have something clearing up. She likes to be in the sign, so by way of an agreement, a contract, something going on relationship-wise, 8 of Wands. Something seems to be progressing in a way that can be more positive, perhaps surprisingly for you. You know, you might not have necessarily expected it from that individual or from that that source. Yeah, it's almost like you were kind of almost like wanting the best but sort of expecting the worst. But I think something comes along and it feels like it's perhaps a little bit more positive. Okay. On the 14th, we've got Mars conjunct Jupiter in Gemini happening. Mercury retrograde also then shifts into Leo. So then our retrograde gets a little bit more frustrating, a bit more hot-headed, a bit more drama that has the potential to happen. But remember, whenever we direct these internally, we have an opportunity for beautiful breakthroughs. Especially with the Mercury, we can get much more creative, much more intuitive, and we can find that inner voice in a way we can channel in powerful ways, okay? But Mars conjunct Jupiter is also highlighting ambitions and drive and how, you know, you're going to achieve something, the physicality that it might take in order to do something. Gemini, it's all in the mind, so you could get quite overwhelmed or overstimulated in terms of big goals, things that you want to take on. What we need to remember is then as we build up towards the full moon on the 19th, we're going to hit a whole series of sort of roadblock energies, things that feel like they're backing us into a corner or just making life difficult for us. We may feel like we're being put upon, or that, you know, we're having to make choices and decisions that we're not happy about having to make and feel a bit triggered or riled up. At the same time, we're very clear on what we want. So we then have this energy of like our sovereignty, our freedom versus what we feel duty, obligated, responsible, or where we're being put upon. And that charge, that conflict, that rub, if you like, is quite active through the month of August. Again, just reminding you, returning to words, how important they are, how your interpretation of things matter, and to remind yourself consistently that you're doing the best that you can, okay? So the thing with this full moon in Aquarius, even though it has some aspects that are feeling like it's sort of riling things up a bit, Two of Cups we have here, I believe that the Aquarian energy is here to deliver you a source of breakthrough, of creative, innovative, unconventional solutions to something. And so the full moon invites a surrender, a release, a letting go. And that's of the limitation, the sanctions, the old stories. And then if we can do that, then we get the high side, the light side of Aquarius showing us this is how we navigate this. This is what needs to be done. This is how to perceive this. This is what happens next. And for you, you know, it may be regarding a specific relationship, something that is an important priority, commitment, something that you are intimately sort of involved and devoting your time, energy and attention to, says the Two of Cups. So that full moon gives you an opportunity to do something and do it differently. And it may be something you've never done before, approaching it in a way that you'd never considered before. If you can adopt that, you're going to be able to transcend and move beyond a lot of the things that feel like they're getting in your way. That's why you'll really get to the end of August and then look back and connect the dots and go, okay, that was like a real pain in the backside, but actually it helped me because it made me think about this in a totally new way. And don't be surprised if you come into contact with some individuals around that time that are also going to be trying to show you or stimulate or give you different cause for considering things, you know, from a different vantage point, you know. I think overall this can be an incredibly powerful, meaningful month to address things, face things, revisit things, and really kind of see it as a sort of quite powerful preparatory stage for sort of what comes next. As we make our way toward the end of the month and we come into Virgo energy, you're getting clear on the details, on the things that are going to be necessary to get you to where you now need to be. You've taken stock, and I think all through, you know, the last sort of 2-3 months, there's been a lot of deep reevaluation taking place for you. And I think you want to live differently. There's something about your life that you genuinely want to make a powerful, permanent change. And I think that you're on your way to do that. You have some wonderful energies to harness and tap into when we look at what's coming up for August. But the most important thing is, because no one's walking in your shoes, how you perceive what's happening to you. If you can step into that awareness and understanding, then some beautiful, remarkable things are going to start to happen for you in this month of August. Eight of Pentacles says you may well want to take on something new, learn something different, educate and evolve your understanding of a particular subject. I think that would be super beneficial for you in the month of August, especially as we work with this portal of energy that's opening up, okay? Something might feel like hard work. People may feel like they're hard work this month, but there's a reward and there's a return on investment that is really likely for you when you show up in a way that's open-minded and willing to learn and willing to change. If you're new to my channel, our last 3 cards we cover in the extended version of my reading. Sagittarius, I talk for another 30 minutes or so. We'll look at a relationship and a personal question for you. And the investment just helps me to show up and do the free reading, so I really appreciate if you are in a position to join me and you feel moved to. Thank you very much. You'll find the link below. I'm just going to go and clarify these cards and see the direction we'll take that reading for you. The universe brings in the Hierophant, another 2 of Cups. Remember, a lot comes back during Mercury retrograde. And, you know, from a relationship perspective, it's an opportunity to resolve, perhaps to reconcile, to work through, find acceptance, clarification. Ace of Cups and the Lovers. Strong energy around sort of partnerships coming through for you this month as well, which bodes well, particularly in Virgo season as you start to consider things going on in your work and your career. Maybe new doors opening around this time for you. Ace of Swords, I love that. King of Pentacles. Now, you can find my Sacred Soul support this month. I have a Lionsgate 8/8 meditation to help you with your rituals over on romywiser.com. You'll also find my Oracle deck and my book, ways to work with me and other services that I'm offering at this time. So please do check it out if you are new to my channel and you haven't already. Okay, we're going to have a look at Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my deck. So let's see how it's going to add to this conversation for us. Cosmic Rebellion, beautiful. Spirit Lion, love to see that. Spirit Stag, Heavenly Timing, New Moon, Deliberate Intention. Very strong emphasis in August of divine order and timing and our relationship to that. I've also talked about this month there being a significance to return to sacred geometry, our understanding of it, working with it, particularly from a manifesting perspective. Yeah, creating your crystal grids, you know, meditating and focusing around the macabre, the flower of life, you know, the Metatron's cube, and perhaps even doing a little bit more research and understanding around how these energies work with us and support us. Okay, one final oracle card for Sagittarius for the month of August. What have we got for you? Let's take a look. Find your center, stay true to you, call it to you. Beautiful. Okay. Thank you for being here and joining me. Have a beautiful month of August. I hope I'll see you on the extended. Take care and we'll catch up.